We are less than 24 hours away from the biggest game in Arizona State school history. It is the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl as the Texas Longhorns take on the Arizona State Sun Devils. Happy New Year's Eve, everyone. Caleb Bushy here alongside Tom Forms here at the Weston Peachtree Media Village in Atlanta, Georgia, as we are literally on game day eve between the Sun Devils and the Longhorns. But Tom, can you believe it that we're here literally in the college football playoff? A lot of this has just got to be surreal for Arizona State, especially since this is their first appearance in the college football playoff. But they are going up against a veteran in the 4-team college football playoff where it was harder to get in. What do you think the vibes are like for Kenny Dillingham and his squad going into literally the most important game of their career?
Well, I think they're excited. Obviously, any team who went from a losing season last year to coming into this year winning the Big 12 championship and now getting a bye and going to the Peach Bowl, facing off against Texas, who are at the top of the rankings for the SEC. They're obviously really excited, but they're still focused and determined. They don't want to let any of the fireworks to really distract them, and they're ready to get to work and get this game done and then possibly go on to the next round and go from there.
Let's take a look here at the quarterback comparison. Sam Leavitt has always said, even though he is the freshman quarterback, Quinn Ewers has had years of experience. This is only Leavitt's first year in the quarterback position. And he has already said in the press conferences in Tempe leading up to this week that he is going to prove himself to be the better quarterback over Quinn Ewers. And just yesterday in the Media Day event here in Atlanta, he doubled down on that statement, proving that he is very confident about going into tomorrow's matchup. What do you think Leavitt has that Ewers may not have when you take a look here at the stats?
Yeah, when you take a look at the stats here for Sam Leavitt, this year he had 2,663 passing yards and 24 touchdowns. So he's obviously been having an absolutely great year, as you could tell by their stats and the games that ASU has produced this season. You take a look at the Quinn Ewers side, though. He has over 2,800 passing yards with 26 touchdowns, and over the past 3 years he had over 8,500 passing yards. So he definitely has a lot more experience there, but Leavitt is that young stud where he's like a brick wall, where he's just running through a brick wall, it seems, and nothing can stop him. So it's going to be exciting to see what happens for the Peach Bowl matchup between Sam Leavitt and Quinn Ewers.
We're certainly looking forward to it, especially for a year of what has been crazy change. Literally, the Big 12 champion, the new members of the Big 12 going up against the old members of the Big 12. This is technically like a Big 12 matchup if you think of it. So a lot of exciting stuff. Well, earlier today, head coach Steve Sarkisian for Texas and Kenny Dillingham for Arizona State held a press conference today in their final media availability before the game. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
I felt probably for about the last month and a half now, one of the things we needed to address was the running game. And I really felt like we addressed it well, and we've been moving the ball pretty efficiently. That the SEC championship game was, in my opinion, a little bit of an anomaly where we got away from it and it just didn't come to fruition the way we would have liked. But if you look at the last month and a half of the season, I think our balance is where it needs to be. Ultimately for us, it's about finishing drives. And when we get into the red area of putting the ball in the end zone, it's one thing to have a bunch of yards and explosive plays, but you need points to win. And so that's going to be the challenge in this game no differently. I think we'll find some balance there.
If you're confident versus cocky, goes in your preparation. If your confidence in yourself starts having you prepare less than you have prepared, well, be prepared to be humbled, because now you're letting it affect you. If you go about your business, and everybody should have a self-belief, whether you verbalize it to the media or not, everybody going into this game on both teams should feel like they're the very best. And if you don't believe that you can win the football game, we're 14-point dogs. We're facing a team that was picked to win the national championship preseason by a lot of people. And if you don't have that belief that you can win the football game, if you don't go that you believe you can match up, then you have no chance.
Great stuff coming out from Kenny Dillingham and Steve Sarkisian. And now, as we get ready to close our pregame show, let's talk about the number one playmaker who has made all the difference for the Sun Devil team. And who knows, dare I say, we were at the College Football Hall of Fame this week. He could be a future College Football Hall of Famer just based off of the analysis from Nick Saban saying that he was his favorite college football player, none other than Mr. Scat Devil, Cam Scattaboo. And Tom, looking forward to this game. This could be his last game in a maroon and gold jersey. He's got a great career ahead of him in the National Football League. What do you think he's going to be like going into these pregame vibes?
Yeah, Caleb, you mentioned the College Football Hall of Fame. We're not going to be surprised if we see his jersey and helmet in there soon enough in someday. And Cam Scattaboo has just had an absolutely incredible year. You take a look at the stats from this year. He had 1,568 rushing yards this year. That puts him at 6th of all time for this year in college football. So he obviously has a bright future ahead of him. He's going to be declaring for the NFL draft. And we're going to be excited to see what he does in the NFL. But right now, we want to see how he does in the Peach Bowl in this matchup against the Texas Longhorns.
We're certainly looking forward to it. But no matter what, I think we can fairly say that Kenny Dillingham and this team have underpromised and over-delivered. No matter what the result is tomorrow, this is definitely going to be one of the most successful seasons in ASU football. And we have had such the honor to cover it, so it's been an exciting one. We are looking forward to it. We'll have all the game day coverage tomorrow on our social media accounts, so stay tuned there. But for now, that is going to do it for the C-Trace Sports pregame show. For Tom Fords, I'm Caleb Bushy saying good night, Happy New Year, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for C-Trace Sports.